Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about September's equinox coming up on September 22nd. This is one of the most powerful days of the year because the day and the night are equal, which means that it creates a perfect balance between dark and the light, and it brings us an incredible opportunity not just to release certain energies but also to balance our energies and to reconnect with our natural rhythm, to recognize what parts of the day we feel the most natural and what could be some new establishments we could embody for this new period of our lives. We are in this potent window of energies since the full moon that I've made a video before, and right now this equinox symbolizes a very important day for manifestation if you're into manifestation and shifting your reality according to your vision and desires. If you're into healing, like inner child healing or certain emotional healing, and if you're into self-mastery, like mastering really your, let's say, uniqueness, your authenticity, then these energies will be very supportive for you. And I want to give you 5 things to know about this day, energies on this day, and how to use these energies to really take yourself to the next level of your life. So, well, we know it's all about balance, right? It's about balancing the light and the dark, because on higher levels of consciousness, there is no separation between light and the darkness. It's what we are making up here on this third dimensional level. We're separating things for good and bad, for positive and negative. But we all know that they're both needed. So the problem in our lives usually happens when we start escaping one side with making other side more important. Like we may say, well, I want to feel more positive, so we start neglecting the negative and we embrace more positivity. And many times on our journeys, what happens is that we start ignoring the dark side of us and we start believing there is no darkness within us. And what starts happening, more we try to be positive, more our darkness is taking over. So usually it happens the way that we feel bad, we feel negative emotions and we suppress them, or we feel tension, we feel like there's something wrong and we suppress all of it by trying to have a positive mindset or trying to feel positive emotions. Well, then we have this natural, let's say, days of equilibrium. Those are days where all these energies get a bit more harmonized and we experience equilibrium within us as well, and we recognize, okay, actually I could take much greater approach, I could take much healthier approach. And what's happening on the world right now collectively is that these energies are balancing the way that darkness is coming to the surface. You've heard this before, you've noticed this before. So much of truth is coming up in the world of celebrities, in politics, in financial structures, maybe even in your personal life, in your family circle, or at your job, or, you know, you've experienced so much truth is coming out. And with all this truth coming out, it's a very important thing about all of this to really notice what matters to you. To notice, like I said in the video about the full moon, I said to notice your life tasks. Life tasks are related to your unique DNA. So you've been born with a very unique DNA. No one else has a one that you have, and no one else will ever have a DNA equal to yours. No one. You have completely unique genetic makeup. No one else will ever have the one you have today, which means that you are completely unique individual here. And then a life task here is to recognize what is so unique about your DNA. And we easily recognize it if we reflect on our childhood. like who we were as little kids and how much we've been really pulled into certain specific things that maybe other kids were not. And that's how we recognize what makes us unique. We have unique interests, we have unique talents, we have unique attraction towards certain knowledge and skills we could develop. We have unique ideas, unique viewpoints, we have unique perception, and that's what we should embrace. So where we're going with this evolution of human consciousness is that we're going into deeper understanding of our uniqueness firstly, and also self-mastery. So in the past, we've noticed that religions and different companies, jobs provided us a sense of purpose. Now we are entering into an age where each individual needs to awaken this sense of purpose within you. And once you awaken it, you recognize that life gets a whole another meaning. It's an act of really raising your energy because you recognize you're not a puppet of external forces. Now you become a master of your ship. Now you're the one that is here to really, really follow your inner navigation. It's like a sense of attunement where you recognize that it's not really you who's maybe like deciding what desires you want to follow. It's a force that moves through you. And that's what all these ancient philosophers and great mystics and artists were talking about in the past. Like Leonardo da Vinci, when he was a little kid, he grabbed a bunch of papers from his father. He went into nature and he started drawing nature. No one taught him how to draw. No one said to him that he should draw or he should do something like that. He was just naturally pulled into it. And even today we are still talking about his master work, right? And for example, great scientists like Albert Einstein, he always said that there's a force within him that tells him what he needs to focus on when he's doing progress with his researching. And it's a thing, this force that moves through us is who we really are, and our bodies are merely just vehicles, or as ancients would call it, vessels through which we can express ourselves. And this is the awareness that is kind of awakening within all of us. And what's important at this point, especially at the time of this equinox, is to recognize how frequently you're really following this and how many things are still preventing you from doing it. You could say my job or my family members or things like that, but it's really how much you're prioritizing it. That's a life task. Life task is to prioritize this inner pull that you feel. So it's a great time to restore balance in your life. Obviously between work, relationships, self-care, all of that. But notice how frequently you experience this inner pull. It's not an impulsive pull for some junk food or for watching TV or something like that. It's so much higher. It's something that fulfills you. It's something that gives you a sense of purpose. Like I feel for painting, for example, or for making these videos, like something I share with you many times. Actually, today I'm sharing with you my latest painting. I've just finished it yesterday, and then I've noticed, oh, it's equinox time, and there is a beautiful sunset on the painting with a field of lavender, which is something I truly love, and I just wanted to put onto a painting the feelings that I feel when I have an opportunity to visit a field of lavender, to smell it and to just enjoy that energy. So I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, it's a beautiful time of the year to recognize, could you balance your life even more between following external voices like, social things and whatever you think you have to do, and then also following your internal pulse. And eventually what may happen to you is that you will, if you haven't already, you will feel a need to change your career for the one that will be more in resonance with that inner pull. You will feel a need to really master it, to become really good at it, and to recognize what the society needs that could be provided by that mastery, by that thing you've developed through following your inner pull. So this is one thing that I would suggest to become very aware during this time. So since the full moon that we had, I've made some guidance for you, and right now I just want to say these energies are the most potent, which means that you may be the most aware of these things, of these mechanisms of yours. Your intuition is a bit louder, and your analytical mind is not so reactive during this time. So if you find this resonating with you, just recognize where you are feeling pulled to right now. During this equinox, we're also shifting into a season of Libra. So we've been in a Virgo season, which was quite a practical season. It was a season where people often describe it as self-improvement season. And usually in this season, we feel, inspired to change our routines, change our habits, upgrade them, maybe upgrade the field of what we've been studying with maybe some new subjects or getting into some new fields. And I've experienced that as well. Like I've changed some routines. I've changed my workout routines. I've also started studying some new subjects. And yeah, it was a fresh season for me. And I'm feeling quite good because of that. So as we're going into Libra, it's more about self-care then. It's more about grounding all these new things and also taking care of your let's say, pleasant activities like some wellness, some sauna, some massages and things like that. To recognize that, okay, as much as it's all about productivity and maybe working hard on something and things like that, also slow down and invest a little bit into beauty, into feeling beautiful, into feeling well, and so on. So don't forget about these things as well. Then the second reminder I want to give you is to reflect on how much you've grown. Reflect on the harvest, as many ancients would say. The harvest of your efforts, maybe in your career, maybe in your relationships or personal growth. This is a time to celebrate your achievements and, express some gratitude. You know that gratitude is a state for receiving, but it's so much more because it reminds us that our work is truly paying off. Maybe not in certain results you would like to see, but it's paying off in how you feel. It's paying off in the energy you experience. It's paying off in results of your healing. It's paying off in the way you see life. And isn't it the most rewarding thing when you're able to perceive more freedom, when you're able to perceive more beautiful things, more happiness, and you're able to see your own darkness through a lens of acceptance and understanding? Isn't it the most rewarding thing? And isn't it a foundation that will build everything more stable? Like if you're working on finances, improving finances or business or anything, isn't it true that if you can bring more acceptance and understanding to your life, well, then everything will become more stable. Then the third reminder for you is to let go. So we've been talking about this also at the time of full moon a few days ago, but we are in this window that is really supportive for releasing, for letting go. As the trees shed their leaves, consider what you need to release in your life as well. I love to observe nature, and when I see the tree starts coloring into, orange and and red and they start releasing these old leaves, I always get reminded, okay, let's see what I need to let go of. Let's see what I need to release. Is there still something I'm maybe blaming, something or certain part of myself? Is there still something I'm not accepting? Is there still a sense of fear or worry I'm carrying on because of something that's completely out of my control? Or is there still a certain limiting belief that is holding me back, and could I, pay more attention to it and kind of shatter it? Like sometimes I'm using practice that, for example, limiting beliefs are very, they have so much control over us. And sometimes when I close my eyes, I could easily just see something that is limiting me, like a sense of, I could imagine certain scenario that I don't want to experience in my life anymore because I'm so used to it, or I'm so deeply programmed about it. And then I just visualize it in front of me, and then I imagine how it shatters. Like a window would be, like you would throw a rock into a window and it just shatters. I imagine this scenario like it would be playing on the screen or just in front of me, and then it shatters. And as it shatters, I see a blank canvas, or I see just a dark screen, and then I visualize what I want to see in my life. This is one practice I use for changing my beliefs. And it may happen that this certain scenario you want to erase from your mind keep coming up, but every time it comes up, shatter it. Imagine how it shatters, and then visualize a new scenario that will be more pleasant, more beneficial, that will be the wanting one. It's a part of manifestation practice that I'm using, and it works most of the time. If not that the wanting outcome happens, what happens is that I don't experience so much of emotional attachment to this unwanting scenario. It kind of loses its grip, and I don't feel so controlled over it anymore. A powerful practice. And there's a Japanese proverb that says the bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists. It reminds us that, as we start letting go, we become more fluid in our lives. We learn to bend instead of constantly being, all tough and kind of pretending to be strong. So as much as it's important, right, to be strong, to be tough, also learn to let go and to be soft, to be fluid, to be mellow here and there. And obviously, the fourth thing is it's time for setting some new intentions for the next half a year of your life, to recognize where you want to go, in what kind of direction you want to evolve, how much more frequently you would truly love to follow your nature, to follow your natural rhythm, and to recognize what is your natural rhythm. You may recognize that in your day you would function completely differently if you would follow your natural rhythm, like how your brain works, when you feel the most focused, when you feel the most creative, when you feel the most productive, and when you feel that there's a need to rest, a need to rejuvenate, and how much your life would change if you would follow these rhythms, and what would happen if you would. This is something I often set intentions to just be even more connected with my own authentic rhythm. And then I also set intention to be more maybe productive with my art, with my paintings, maybe to make more paintings and to do less of things that are not so important to me, like certain paperwork or certain organizing, and to find people who can do it for me or things like that. This is something I set intentions for me, because still many things we do habitually, and I want to become more conscious in certain things, and I want to stop wasting energy with things, with activities that someone else could do it much better. So this is something I set intentions for, and it's quite powerful because we kind of turn the light onto what was maybe bothering us or what wasn't going truly our way. And then the last reminder I want to give you is to embrace the change, embrace the change, because a big change is happening. It's happening on the world as we feel it. It's happening on the energy level and in consciousness, and it's happening in our personal lives. Like, we may be losing something and we may be gaining something new, and sometimes we don't really see what new is coming, but we only see what is going, what is falling apart. And in these times, what's the most important is that we don't judge situations. It's just something I've learned, and it's something I've shared with you also in yesterday's video. But it's important to recognize that you don't really know what's going on. You're merely an observer of what's happening. And even though you've been programmed and hypnotized to think a certain way about life, how can you know that you know the truth about what's truly happening? So it's something I'm constantly reminding myself, because I'm recognizing I truly don't know, but I'm eager to know. And therefore I'm wondering why I've chosen these experiences, maybe on an unconscious level, and what life is teaching me. And that's how I'm embracing the change, to constantly keep reminding myself, okay, what are you teaching me here? What do I need to know here? And where do I need to go? Like, what is the next phase of my life? Where am I going? And how can I embrace it even more? So this is something I feel right now, and I hope it can help you in any way. So it's quite a simplistic message, as I am simplifying myself, my life right now. I hope it is valuable and you find it helpful. So I'm sending you lots of love, blessings, and power. Also, I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting, my latest one. So this one goes for sale, also regional one. It's already available, and also prints in different sizes are available as well on our store, AttractPassion.com, or its store, AttractPassion. Go there and check it out. Also check out some new products. We've published phone cases for iPhones and Samsung, some other things, so check it out. It's quite beautiful. My friends, have a beautiful celebration of this equinox, and don't forget to set some intentions for the upcoming season. Also, it's a time for preparation for the winter, so it's a great time to do some fasting, to make some adaptation in diet. If you're eating more seasonal food, it's a great time to go towards the food that is appropriate for this time according to where you're living. It's very helpful for your body. And also to slowly change some sleeping routines, maybe going to bed a bit earlier, waking up a bit, I don't know, whatever you prefer. So maybe do some of these adaptations as well. And till next time, one love.